What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. Today is going to be a rumor video, and I know a lot of people are probably reading this going, oh boy. Well, there's people that said, can you please just talk about this? There is no rumors going on right now. So I'm going to talk about it. I mean, it is a little bit interesting to me, but I'll just start it off by saying this. I don't believe that this is going to happen, and I'm not really sure where this is coming from, so you guys and myself are going to try to discover this. So if you are new here and you love Leafs content and you want a bunch of it coming up, because I got a ton coming, trust me, I've been filming a lot, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Subscribing is completely free, and I know a ton of people who watch these videos are not subscribed, so I'd greatly appreciate that. But let's get into this one. PK Subban. Is he an option for the Toronto Maple Leafs? How is it even possible? Well, let's at least first look at where this started. So Leafs Updates, who has previously used me as a source before on something, which I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't the source for something that they said I was the source of. So keep this in mind. I do appreciate them at least trying to promote me a little bit, but according to Murphy's Law, who some people have some opinions on, the Leafs have expressed more than lukewarm interest in the Devils D-man PK Subban at a retained price. So then he goes, this Leafs Updates guy says that he would only see fit if there was a double retention, which would be a $2.25 million cap hit, and both Mikheyev and Dermott would have to be traded, but we'll look into that. I like PK Subban. Okay, and especially I think any team would like PK Subban under $3 million because he's seen better days. Okay, I love the guy, but he's seen better days. I do believe that there's still a lot of good in PK Subban's game, like I said, especially when it's a cheaper contract. But that $9 million AAV that he has attached to him with the New Jersey Devils is extremely, extremely tough. And a trade like that for them would have to make a lot of sense. And the reason I'm saying that is something that I wanted to explain a little bit better. And I'm glad that this article in the Hockey News actually explains it. So after looking at the source, Jimmy Murphy, tweeting that out, he thinks that the Bruins and the Leafs have interest in him, and more than lukewarm interest means that the Leafs actually have, tried to acquire him. I don't know if that means like they just put in a call and said, yeah, we're serious about it, but what would it take? Or if it means they literally just made a phone call, because you're not really sure if what people consider to be lukewarm. You know what I mean? It sounds simple, but it's really not. So the Bruins and Leafs both have a little bit of interest. Apparently, Subban's contract, like I mentioned before, is $9 million. But one of Murphy's sources indicated no club would acquire him unless the Devils GM Tom Fitzgerald agreed to pick up half of Subban's cap hit. That's unlikely to change, or that's unlikely to happen at least this early in the season, because right now the Devils have about $12 million in cap space, and Fitzgerald is under no pressure to shed the final year of that contract. So it would take a significant offer to convince Fitzgerald to pick up a healthy chunk of that. So this is definitely something that intrigues me, and it makes me think, okay, this doesn't make sense for the Toronto Maple Leafs whatsoever. But again, I'm just making a video on it because we're in that tough part of the season where there's basically no trade rumors going on, and people have asked me to make this video, which, again, thank you for the support. I do appreciate that. But the Devils have made some really good moves this offseason. We've all seen it. And with that much cap space, it would make more sense for them to hold on to Subban, and at the deadline, if they want to trade him, they probably could. It'd be a little bit easier due to how the cap works and how much money they would have to eat at the deadline. It wouldn't be as much, obviously, for him to go play somewhere else. It's better when you're paying for the guy to actually play for your team, not for somebody else. But they don't really have to do anything, considering they can go and add and just make Subban a depth defenseman. You're paying a lot of money, but you can have him as depth instead. And paying a significant price, especially if not only would the Leafs have to make this a 3-team trade, but it would have to be because both teams would have to retain 50%. Toronto can't, like, they can, but they can't. They can make this trade happen, but they would have to pay too much to make these teams pay or eat up that 50% on both sides. It just doesn't make a lot of sense for me. Like, let's say the Leafs got like Arizona in on this trade. while Arizona's going to be like, oh, well, okay, we're eating 50%. Well, give us like a decent prospect, or give us another third round pick or a second round pick or something. And then the Devils are going to say the same thing. They're going to be like, okay, well, we're eating 50% of this deal. You're going to give us like Travis Dermott and a high pick plus maybe like some sort of, minor prospect, because they don't have to do this. They don't have to make this trade. And if it's the Leafs going, we want them, which again, I can't even believe I'm even talking about this, because I do like Subban, but it's just, this trade just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Even if it wouldn't be a first round pick to make them eat that much, which I think it would be, a second round pick and then having to give another team a pick and a prospect and probably having to involve a guy like Dermott in a trade like this wouldn't make a ton of sense to me. So just looking at cap friendly, again, that $9 million cap hit, like I mentioned before, this is the last year of that deal. And I'm sure he's not going to make nearly as much in his next contract, but he's had really good numbers throughout his career. But as you can see, these last few years, those numbers have dropped off quite substantially. And again, I really, really do love PK Subban a lot. I'm a huge fan of the guy. He's a great guy off the ice. And looks like he's getting in really good shape again this offseason. So, I mean, that's only good for anybody who gets him, or, if the Devils just hold on to him, that's good for them. But I don't think the Leafs are overly intrigued in giving this a lot of thought. And the other reason why is because with an extra forward here, with all the defensemen, whatever, there's not a lot of room to play with here. Like $80,000, sure, if they retain, if let's say a trade goes through and they get two teams to retain 50%. So you're getting him at that 2 point whatever cap hit. Let's just, like 2.3 or whatever the heck it is. What's the exact number? 2.25. So let's just say that happens. You have to make that available here. So let's just use LTIR to make that cap space. So Dermott would have to go because Subban is effectively going to play on that third pairing. So you put him on LTIR, that only gives you 1.5, okay? Now you're going to trade one of Mikheyev or Engvall, right? So Mikheyev goes there. Okay, sure, now you have that cap space. But now the Leafs roster doesn't look as strong. I mean, sure, Mikheyev isn't the greatest be-all, end-all, but now you're forcing, this type of lineup. And this isn't what the lines I would go with by any stretch, but now you don't have that same type of depth that you have, that you usually have. So you're gonna slide him here. You're gonna have a worse lineup. Sure, you might have a little bit more physicality and stuff like that, but what happens if you turn around and Subban gets injured now, and you do have Timothy Liljegren to replace him, and that's the other thing here. Timothy Liljegren, you don't have to trade anybody for. You don't have to get teams to retain. You don't have to trade first, this, that, and the other. If you want to give a right-handed defenseman a shot who's young, who's cheap, Timothy Liljegren should be in this lineup. If you're going out there looking for another right-handed defenseman, what are the Leafs thinking about Timothy Liljegren? The guy is ready. I'm sorry. I don't know what other people think, but he's ready. If you're going after Subban, you're going to have to trade a little bit too many pieces. And it's not because he's good. And again, I hate saying that because I like Subban, but it's because of the contract. It's not because of him being an amazing defenseman. The Leafs would have to pay people to pay for him, basically. And the Leafs might want to do that at the deadline and try to see if they can get Subban or somebody else to improve this team, and I'd be all for it. But right now, they have to go into this season and try to be better, which is going to be hard because they played pretty well last year besides the playoffs. But a trade like this doesn't make sense right now. And it would have to be a fleece. Like, the Leafs would have to fleece two teams. Like, I don't see how that's going to work out. I don't really see how this is even a thing. So, unless the Leafs have other plans, unless they're trading a big contract, unless they're, trading a Morgan Riley, which doesn't make sense to me either. Like, how does this make sense? I don't get it. So let me know, guys. Like and subscribe. Make sure to comment. I don't really know. This video kind of floors me because Again, I do appreciate you guys recommending me to make this video, and I do love that people look to me for my opinion on certain things, but this one has me a little bit like floored. I don't really know why this would happen or if it would make sense. I'm just going to go ahead and say it's not going to happen and bet the house on that. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say. So I love and appreciate you guys as always. And again, shout out to PK Subban. I freaking love PK Subban. I would take him on the Leafs any day of the week if it made sense. I love the guy. But maybe that's a free agency move next year. Maybe it's not for now. So again, love and appreciate you guys. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Join the squad. Thank you to the new subscribers and the people that have been here since day one. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video or stream. Peace.